Hey, what's up guys? So I just made a new remix of Ariana Grande's new track, 7 Rings. In case you haven't heard it yet, the link will be in the description down below. However, today we're here to make a Porter Robinson style track. So let's get to it. So let's start with the intro. This is how it sounds. Let's begin with the plugs. So I think Porter Robinson uses a lot of plugs in his tracks, so I decided to add one. It's a pretty easy preset. It's just a standard square saw wavetable, and then I automated the low pass filter and added some voices. And effects, I added a stereo shaper to make it wider and a sidechain to give it a little bounce. Let's keep on. Next we have this little harp sound. You can't really hear when everything is playing together, but I think it adds a nice effect to the whole thing. So it's just a harp and violin preset from Nexus. Processing wise, I just cut some high and low ends, added the reverb and automated the volume again. Okay, so next comes the robot voice, which is this one. So Porter Robinson uses a lot of these strange sounds. I just used this wavetable and messed with the volume so it sounds like a pluck, and added a flanger and reverb. So together it sounds like this. Nice. And just to mix things up a bit, I found a sample which originally sounds like this, I think. Added distortion, and flanger and delay, and then chopped it and made this. It gives a little diversity to the track. I think it sounds nice. And then this effect. I think it's important to mention that most of the sounds that I used here, the samples, I used them from Vengeance packs. So I think it sounds nice, give it again this robotic feel. So now let's talk about the build-up. So this is how it sounds. Okay, so first the drums. I used Vengeance kick, then layered it with this hat and this clap. Because itself, it sounds like this, but when you add these two elements, suddenly it sounds like this. So every time I use kicks, I always try to layer them with hats and noises, just to help the kick cut through the mix. So then I added these big claps. Otherwise the build-up was a little dry. And then the snares. I played with the volume of each one of them to make it a little more real, and automated the volume and the pitch. Next, we have these bells. Porter Robinson tracks are really melodic, so why not add these bells in the build-up? I think it's a nice element. It's just a Nexus preset, Chillin' Bells. And I just added a Camel Crusher and EQ'd it a bit. So we have the plugs again. And again, building tension. And last but not least, the riser. Which is just a white noise with some EQ, effector, and reverb. Let's get to the drop. So it all started with these chords. So it's actually just, two saw waves, one detuned with 8 voices, and the other one no changes. Added some chorus and compressor with the multiband on. Then in the post-processing I EQ'd it, cut a little of the high end off, added some reverb, OTT, to give it more presence, and some good old sidechain. So then I layered with this synth. This is actually just a Nexus preset, so together it sounds like this. Nice. Now for the mids, I made a synth, which is just, the regular saw wave with some white noise, and then the trick is to add some distortion and a multiband compressor. So it sounds like this. Let me play it together. And then this lead, which is just this prime wavetable, a little detuned with 6 voices, and the regular saw wave with 10 voices. There's some distortion and a compressor. Post-processing wise, an EQ, Camel Crusher, and some sidechain. So now it sounds like this. And now just a sub bass. Okay, so the first time it sounds like this, and the second time I decided to change things up a bit and it sounds like this. And to fill these gaps, I added these glitch voice sounds, which by itself sound like this. And together. And here I added this ARP sound, which fits in really well and sounds like this. And together. Although it doesn't sound like one, it's just a brass sound. So let's add in the kick, which is the same as in the build-up. So I added some white noise and some crashes. And now from the start, everything together sounds like this.